Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight, let me just say this first. This is a bonus reading for Capricorn. And our card tonight is the Page of Swords. And this is from Tarot of the Abyss. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell button. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And I also just want to say thank you for kind of putting up with being patient with me. I have had the flu. And you can hear that in my voice. And I am snifflier than usual and probably breathing more loudly than usual. So thank you so much for kind of just enduring. All right, let's see. We have the 382. So it looks like 382. We have a person. Now it looks like we have kind of a face up here where it's eyes and the smiley little mouth, and you can see kind of the roundness of the face. But then down here in the same body, we have, it looks almost like a gnome kind of looking down. You can see the eyes and the nose and a beard and kind of the body here. It looks maybe to be in the nude. Kind of, I imagine, like a forest spirit. So I feel like we have this kind of, this one over here reminds me of like the Little Caesars guy. Kind of like a regal emperor type. And then we have this forest spirit that is kind of embedded in. So it tells me that you're somebody who definitely, I feel like outwardly, you have this kind of very put together, particular kind of style or appearance. You probably keep yourself pretty neat and dressed somewhat sharply, especially for work. You're very expressive in that way. And but then I also see, like, in the interior, there's this sense of kind of being out there in the wilderness, you know, being very close to the earth and having this, you know, kind of almost an inhibition to all of the kind of refined and you know, prim and proper and I imagine pretty, like, kind of sleek and streamlined, all of this kind of appearance or outward persona. Then on the inside, it's just kind of very wild and very arcane and maybe even kind of primordial. And so, you know, I think that this is kind of a very beautiful mixture of archetypes. I think that this really helps you within leadership. I think you're probably somebody that's very good at kind of working with others and being on a team and taking the lead in a lot of ways. But I also think that there is this real kind of emotional instinct and instinct towards survival, but also an instinct towards sensation and impression, to be immersed in your experience of things. And so I think you can relate to others, although I think that you are careful to not fully take in all of their energies and make them your own. I think that you have the ability to empathize and put yourself in their position, right? You can think about, okay, well, I know how this might feel, or I imagine this might feel this way. And so that might affect this person in this certain way. And so I can maybe have a greater context to how to communicate, how to relate to this person, this individual. And I think that it really has been so helpful for you in life. Okay. Not just in work, I think just generally as well. And it seems like a pretty developed, I want to say it's a dichotomy. It's not really. I mean, these things go hand in hand. All of the archetypes really do. If we kind of experience them as maybe being super opposite on a spectrum, I don't think that is the case. I think that all archetypes kind of fit into one another in some way. So, this is kind of a very beautiful mixture to have activated. Okay, so we also have I feel like we have for a second I felt like, this is kind of difficult energy. We have a heart, okay, but I also see kind of two people, and they look like they're quarreling to me. It feels like there's a lot of like a missed opportunity to communicate, or pride gets in the way. But I feel like there's a sense of, and not to be immodest about things, but this, if you can think of the poo-poo emoji, it kind of is sitting on top of this heart. It has the real sad, look at this face. It's the two eyes and then the kind of frown. And I feel like this, well, interesting, because as I'm saying this, and I was going to say, this feels like it's from the past, and it looks like let's see, Y-O-R-E, okay, your. And if I'm not mistaken, that means in the past. I'm going to look it up really quickly because I don't want to go off on a tangent and I'm just absolutely wrong. But I'm going to see. Yeah, a time long ago. Okay, I was right. That's okay. I got it. I'm not, if you have watched me for any length of time, I misuse words a lot. So, but so I feel like this is kind of, it's an old thing. It feels almost ancient, but it is something that really, I think it kind of set the tone for at least a while, your romantic relationships. I think this person really, and let's see, on top of your heart there. That's what it felt like, and I think it was okay, this is maybe one of the great loves of your life. But I feel like this is a youthful love, and idolized kind of love. But I think that it's it was just such a hurtful situation that it kind of set a marker for you. And so, I don't know why it's coming up exactly, but I do see we have the kind of sword in the stone right here. And I wonder if there's this feeling of, will I ever have the relationship that I really want? Will it ever, kind of grow into the place that I've been desiring? A deep connection and openness and ease. A best friend who is also, the great love of your life. And it kind of does. It feels like pulling the sword, are you going to be able to get it out of there? But I think a lot of it has to do with trying to kind of dispel this from your psyche in some way. So often in our fundamental relationships with people, not even just romantically, I mean, especially our parents, our caretakers, the people who raised us, we internalize the way that they speak to us. We really do. And our interactions with them, they definitely have a lasting effect on us. Those first years, some say it's like the first 4 years or the first 7 or the first 10 or whatever. It absolutely sets the tone for your internal dialogue. And then we go on and we have a relationship, and it's, it's fighting, and they maybe call us names or make us feel, shameful about something, or, and when you're young, you're learning how to know people. You're learning how to be yourself around people. And if somebody kind of really makes you feel like something you do is weird or gross, or you're not smart, or you're not worthwhile, or you're unattracted to them for some reason, or whatever it is, that can really linger, throughout. And then, you go on maybe to other relationships, you maybe even get married, and there's a struggle with ever feeling like, this is a relationship that goes really deep, because you still have these things that you carry with you, these, things that you come up, that you remember people saying to you, or situations, maybe abandonment, neglect, or, whatever it is. And so, I look at this and I think that this is something that you are becoming more and more aware of, and doing the work to kind of figure this stuff out. Because I truly do believe there is a connection for you. We have another heart right here by the sword. And I do think that, even if you are with your person, the person of your life, right? There's always room to go deeper. And I think that this is a time where you are working hard to kind of dissolve some of the old junk that kind of hangs out in the back of your mind, And so it's not easy work. It's not easy work, but sometimes it is so necessary so that we can have deeper expressions of love, and connection, and unity, a unifying quality. Okay. So I applaud you for being brave. This is something that most of us turn away from. We just think, oh, it's their problem. That's why we can't figure this out, because they do X, Y, and Z, or they're not enough, or they're not this, or whatever. And we don't look at ourselves, where we're very vulnerable. Where is my role in this? So for somebody to get into that place and really get there, a rare thing, a brave thing to do. Okay, I'm going to take one quick look over here. So we have the Ace of Cups right here. You can see, and then kind of the base here. We also have a big bird here. It looks like maybe two. So we have the messenger bird, and it is in this emotional place. Now, as I turn this, it kind of looks like somebody wearing a crown. The eyes kind of staring down. And it feels to me like something akin to the emperor. Now, in the crown, we have two people in unity, and there's a heart between them. So I feel like, there's this repeating kind of energy of this strong leader, maybe a stoic leader, but who has this great capacity to love. A burning passion to connect. And so I look at, and with the bird, I feel like, oh, and I see right behind the bird, look at that, we have the magician right there. Yeah, so that makes sense to me. Okay, so there's this movement of, from this emperor who has to kind of play this very certain role, right? And kind of separate the emotional from, the work and the responsibility. But then we have the magician who has their kind of, if you could imagine, tentacles, all these aspects of self in every sphere of being. And all of the archetypes, the magician contains all of them, because you must put all of these aspects of self and being to use and be able to traverse them, kind of in this very mercurial way, to be able to, fluidly move through different parts of our being and understanding and ability, so that you can make magic, quite literally work with the fabric of realities. And so there's a sense of, where it is very in your nature to kind of compartmentalize. I think that there's kind of this message from the universe, from the divine coming through, where there is kind of this feeling of, maybe let go a little bit. Let yourself be whatever you are in that moment. If it is something that you only can do really when you are alone, when nobody is witnessing you, there might be an opportunity here to kind of show parts of yourself, your shifting emotions, and, sometimes like questioning, how do I feel about this thing, instead of always knowing, having an answer. Sometimes just kind of admitting, I don't really know how I feel about this. I don't really know what to do about this. But, exploring kind of this communication with a trusted person, and maybe even the relationship that you are working towards deepening, being a little more vulnerable, okay? Being a little more, playful with identity and maybe even kind of belief or understanding, and maybe leaning towards a little bit of the chaotic or absurd or surreal, or whatever it is, the kind of silliness of life. And I think that this is kind of a key here. Now, is it going to change everything? Probably not, but there is something to allowing yourself to kind of go on a stroll through identities or interests, or how you feel about things. And you coming to a place where, and this is, listen, I have a Capricorn rising placement. So that I am somebody who I feel like I'm very open-minded. I'm very inclusive in a lot of ways. I'm an absurdist, and you know, my ideas about reality and you know, just existence and things, very loose compared to like most people, I would say. But the Capricorn part of myself, when I find something that feels right, I cling to that idea. And when it is challenged, if it is something that is beloved to my understanding, it can be very difficult for me to loosen my grip. Okay. So I do think that there's a lot of value at even questioning the things that you believe the most. Now, I don't mean, you know, finding ways to debunk them or belittle them or you know, treachery within. That's not what I mean. But just to, you know, maybe dabble or look at other things closely related, other ways, to look at it, to experience whatever it is, you know, that you do feel so kind of, what's the word? Whatever you dwell within, right? And for me, it's stuff, and this might this might sound a little vapid, but it is like music. I'm kind of a really big music nerd. I like to listen to music. I don't make music. I'm not talented in that way, but you know, I have some pretty firm ideas about genre and eras and artists and, you know, whatever. But sometimes I do have to push myself to you know, listen to, maybe there's a band, you love them, they have like a couple good albums, and then there's a lot of stuff in their catalog you don't necessarily like all the eras, but sometimes you have to go further in there, even into the stuff that's weird and experimental and you know. So that's my attempt at relating it to something, but you know, I think it is. It's worthwhile to go looking around a bit. Okay, so we have a person, and look at that. That's so interesting. Okay, so we had the sword and the stone. Now we have a person who looks like they've lifted it right here. You can see the sword, and it looks like the stone right there. So absolutely, I love when they match up like that. I mean, it tickles me. It's so cool. So yes, I do. I feel like this is you are at this place where you're unlocking some serious stuff. Okay, I got a little too excited about that. I got myself into a little coughing fit. But yes, you are unlocking some really important stuff. And I just love seeing that. So yeah, keep doing the work. Keep doing the work, because it is going to pay off. And, you know, not only in aspects of love and connection to others, you know, I think that being able to experience more widely, feel and express yourself more widely, this lends itself to your ability to be more successful, make different moves within business and career and creativity, and ultimately, you know, allow yourself a wider experience. And what am I trying to say? I just think it gives you're more dynamic in that way, especially if it is that you can experience things differently, apply it to the work you're doing, and then kind of widen your ability to make money ultimately. And so yes, I think that this is such a potent time for you, Capricorn. It absolutely is. All right, let's go ahead. Oops. Let's drop that. I have dropped it before. Okay, so we have these gratitude cards. It's a little deck of appreciation. And I love these cards. They're so little and cute. The artwork's cute and the little messages are cute. Okay, so we'll flip through and I'm going to stop where it feels right. We have the owl. Positive reviews. Your reviews support the livelihoods of a business and its employees. Weird. I've never read that one before. So I guess it wants you to go, like, what do they have now? Facebook or Yelp or whatever. Go leave some good reviews. Leave some good comments. I do. You know what though? I am a person that will always fill out like the surveys for people, like at Walmart or whatever, and I only will leave positive ones. I worked as a waitress for a long time, so I'm really big on supporting people in their workplaces as much as I can. I always try. And when you come upon somebody who's like training and they're learning how to do customer service or work in a restaurant or whatever they're doing, I'm always that lady that's like, oh, you're doing a great job, you're awesome, you're gonna whatever. So I do think it's really important. I honestly do. I think it's putting out that kind of energy. It's healing to us, but it's healing to our community. People don't hear enough positive feedback. I know that we say, oh, everybody's on the internet just to like, get the dopamine rush from the likes and this and this and this. Well, okay. I mean, I that's probably true. But the big thing is that it really shows that a lot of people are not getting positive feedback in their lives. In our one-on-one interactions, being kind to each other, really, it's not about being nice. It's about being kind. It's about letting people know that they are being seen and heard, that they are of value. Even if what they're doing, they're not doing the best, but they're learning. Or, maybe they have a job that you might not think is like such an important job. But I promise you, every job is important. Okay? We all have a role to play. Not even just in work, just in our being. And I think it's, I don't know. I can preach all day about kindnesses, acts of kindness, big and small. It is one of the elixirs of life. It truly is. So anyways, Capricorn, I love you. I thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. And thank you again for being patient with my sick self. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. I'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days. Good night.